Aloha, I'm Timory McDonald, owner and house photographer of Aloha Ever After. So today we're going to talk about step number 2, which is how to pick your wedding coordinator or planner. Regardless of where you live, whether you're going to get married on Kauai or Hawaii, most of this information will be applicable. So the first thing is basically, how do you feel with the person? That's pretty obvious. Do you feel good with them? Do you like emailing with them and speaking to them? Do they talk your ear off and you can't get off the phone with them? Or do you feel uncomfortable with them in any way? Or do you like chatting with them and there's a nice balance of information and kind of chatting? So those are the type of things to look at, and in a nutshell, you can feel it. You can feel it in your gut and in your stomach. When you get off the phone, do you feel more relaxed or do you feel nervous and unsure? Now, a lot of brides have a certain level of feeling nervous, and that's to be expected. But if you're dealing with the right wedding coordination company, you should always feel better when you get off the phone. Even if what they do is give you information that might be difficult, if you're looking at prices and to come up with answers about balancing budgets and things, that would be difficult with anyone presenting that information. The answer should be basically, do you feel good with them? Then the other important things to look at are, how do they work? What are their business ethics? So for example, do they itemize their prices? This is an important thing to look at. I find that when you're comparing these packages, a lot of times brides are overwhelmed because they're trying to choose packages that are almost incomparable. So I like to look at our a la carte price page, which is one of my favorite things about our webpage. You can look at it under the Kauai wedding packages of alohaeverafter.com. This is one thing that I feel sets us apart from the way a lot of other businesses do weddings. And I would suggest, regardless of where you're getting married, that you request some sort of pricing that lets you know, itemized, what are you paying for? Your package is $2,000. If you want to add or subtract something from that, can you do it? Or do you have to get the package as is? I would definitely recommend to choose somebody that will let you add and subtract. Anybody, of course, will let you add. But how do you subtract an item from a package? What amount will they take off? And how straightforward is it? Do you have to ask item after item and pull the information out of them? Or is it easy to see on a menu? If you're dealing with someone who presents all the information and lays it out straightforward, it's easy to see, especially posted on their website, you're probably working with a very reputable and straightforward coordinator, and then they'll do their work like that and the wedding will turn out like that. So that's an important thing to look for. Another thing is, how often do they contact you? Do you call them and then they might just call you back or email you once? Or do they check in with you repeatedly to see if you need more help? You definitely want to look for someone who checks in on you, because you have all these other things to do. You want someone who's checking in to give you information, to help you along, to see if you're ready to take that next step. That's an important thing. I feel like a lot of times coordinators take a step or two, but it's important, regardless of where in the world you're getting married, to make sure that they're willing to run the marathon with you. Also, when they do get back to you, how fast and how completely do they get back to you? Do they give you quick answers, or do they give you complete answers, answering all of your questions, again, without you having to pull it out of them? Their job as a wedding coordinator, our job as a wedding coordinator, is to make things easy for you. That's why you're paying us. So you shouldn't have to work too hard to get information or prices. It should be laid out in front of you to make your job easy. Of course, you need to look at if their prices are reasonable and comparable with whoever else you're dealing with in the market. Now, I wouldn't get too caught up with who has the lowest price, because like with anything, you don't necessarily want to go with the lowest price. And oftentimes, at least with the Kauai wedding market, people's prices are fairly similar. And it's not going to make or break anybody's wedding or their entire budget when you're buying all these expensive tickets and paying for hotels and things to get out here to, pay a couple $100 extra for someone that's going to give really good quality service or you just have a great feeling with. I'd say that most companies are in a mid-price range, and you, again, just want to know what you're comparing, look at the itemized prices, and, basically see, are they in that mid-range with you? If they are, you can ask, obviously, about their prices and packages, which should be posted online, and then with their deposits. For example, Aloha Ever After requires a $250 deposit. I'm not sure what most other coordinators ask for, but I have heard that some of them are high. So that's another thing to ask in the beginning before you get too involved with someone. Finally, does the coordinator that you're considering, or you're probably speaking with a couple, do they offer you plenty of free information, or do they want to kind of hold back until you make that deposit? Not only would I recommend looking for someone who offers a lot of free information either online or on their website or other social networking avenues, but basically, are they willing to email it to you, or are they willing to speak with you? Now, there is a delicate balance between a wedding coordinator and the potential bride to make a deposit, and this is a reasonable thing for a company to ask, so don't be put off if they're asking for you to put a deposit. Just make sure that you've looked at the things I've outlined here, and again, check in with how overall it feels. How do you feel talking with them and emailing with them? And don't worry, I'm sure you'll make a really good decision. I would definitely recommend speaking to the people that you're interviewing. I would not try to do it all by email because you need to know how it is relating with them. So I hope that list was helpful, and if you're interested in speaking with me, please give me a call. Have a great day. Aloha.